Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is different. You're seeing my face for once because obviously every time I try to do something visual, I'm never, in a place to do so. But today we're doing it. So this is Megan Thee Stallion versus MilagrozGramz trial day 3. You're wondering why day 2 is not on my channel. It's because I've been trying to figure out how to download it from Twitter Spaces and it's not working for some reason. All their tools is not allowing me to do so. And I downloaded today, but for some reason, they acting like, they give me a hard time doing so. Apparently the website I'm using is on beta, so it's crashing. So let's get into day 3 of the trial. Day 2 will go up sometime today or tonight when I get a chance to screen record it, so don't mind me. All right, now all the excuses out the way. So let's start the fact that I was 2 hours late because I was tired. You gotta understand, I work at nights. I work from 3 to 11:30. So obviously, me trying to keep getting up in the morning every day is tiring me out, and by the time I get home and do these recordings, especially for Spaces and or here, bitch, I'm tired. And that's no period. So I got it 2 hours late, but I was 2 hours on time because I missed the bullshit. So let's get into the bullshit. So they opened up the case with Academics, DJ Academics. If you don't know who that is, obviously he's a blogger and he's a Twitch streamer and all type of shit. Livingston Allen, and Caesar McDowell, who is somebody from Unite the People. He was the one that was handling Tory and Malaro's case at a point, but that didn't last long because hello. So when I walked in, there were like, I think 10 more minutes left of Caesar's deposition. And like I said, not worth being there for, because even when I got there, Armand and Donat was not in the room. I wanted to go in and get a coffee when there was a 10-minute break, and they were in there chilling. So not together, obviously. They, they're not beefing, whatever. But it is what it is. So I walks in, and now they're back from our 10-minute break. Enter T. Farris. Now, so far, the only person that's talked or like giving their witness testimony is MilagrozGramz. She did day 1 after the jury trial. The jurors got picked, and then day 2 was primarily her. So enter T. Farris. Now, T. Farris was there on the first day, but the second day I did not see him. I don't know if he just wasn't there that day or he was not needed like for Megan's, support system. But today he was as a witness on trial today. So let's get it started. So first and foremost, I was wondering why Megan and Milagro are from Texas. So why are we doing the trial in Florida? I said Megan Milagro. So this is what I'm doing in camera, bitch. You hear all my flaws and shit. However, Megan has a place in Florida. So we get into the fact that her, T. Farris, and one of Megan's team members are staying together. Didn't know that. So let's get into it. So T. Farris has known Megan since 2018. He became her manager after Megan's mom got sick and she passed away. Rest in peace to her soul. And so apparently he said that Megan's mom's last wishes was for him to be, a big brother figure to her. Now, Milagro has claimed that, this was, T. Farris is her guardian, because as we get to go into the receipts of what I wrote down in my notes, that, she was being accused of Megan having relations with T. Farris. At least that's what Megan's ex-best friend Chelsea said, but we'll get into that later as well. So as I said, Megan's mom got sick in 2019, and when she passed away, T. Farris took over. They asked him, at this point we're talking about Megan's team asking questions. So they asked him, so what do you do for Megan on a regular basis? He says that, he is the manager, and, he does the day-to-day things with Megan because he stays with her or whatever. But Roc Nation is her primary, the record label that she's under at this point. He works in the studio with Megan, as well as consider Megan as his little sister. So, again, back to the whole guardian thing, because I almost said last week, child. Yesterday, they showed a receipt from Milagro asking the question of, Megan act like she can't do ish for herself, and she's alcoholic or whatever, allegedly, because that's what Milagro said in her tweets. And that, you know, the ex-best friend Chelsea said that, oh, you know, they were smashing allegedly, as I've already said. You know, repeat myself a little bit here and there, because this stuff keeps happening to come in all the time, and saying that she has a guardian. But see, Farris said, made it clear, I see her as my little sister. That is not my fake daughter, basically, or whatever, right? So, they asked him, you know, as Megan was going through these things, you know, how is she acting? Because, you know, her being a celebrity, and as we learned from Cardi B, that some of these celebrities do go on these social media platforms and, you know, search their names up and find receipts of themselves, people talking smack about them, and, you know, like Cardi B do, she sees stuff and get mad at everybody. But in this case, since it's regarding to Megan and Milagro being the one that has been consistently for the past 5 years bullying her, and I will call it bullying. I can kiki all day at the shows, whatever, but let's be real. Milagro's bullying this girl for the past 5 years. Like, that's why they're calling you Tori's mouthpiece, because you've been consistently doing this shit, right? So, anytime he got a receipt sent to him or fans sent him something, he literally would go show Meg, because, you know, I'd rather show you myself before you see it, and whatever case may be. And consistently what you're going to hear, as I keep going down my notes, is that Megan was consistently getting depressed, her mood was changing, and he said it consistently during the whole of his like questioning or whatever. So every time she would hear something from Milagro, it was never positive. And he emphasized that, like, every time I'm getting a clip about Milagro, it's not positive. She's bullying this girl. It's not right. She started going stuff with Tori. Like, why are you doing this? And so he did say that he was with Megan before the shooting. However, he was not there at the house, Kylie's house, where all this kind of started, the drinking and everybody turning up. And Tori made a comment saying he had 5 shots when he first got there, which is why everybody was very much intoxicated. And even in Kelsey's deposition, she said that when Tori arrived, she was already smashed up. She was already drunk, okay? After the shooting happened, immediately he got a text about Megan, you know, getting hurt. And though he could not talk to her on the scene, he checked up with her, of course, and then, you know, obviously he was there for the hospital, whatever the case may be. When he did get there, when to see her at the hospital, you know, she was crying, she was upset, you know, saw the bullet fragments being pulled out her feet, and then said that Megan outright did not say that Tori shot her, which, you know, is true, because this happened in July, and Megan didn't say that Tori shot her till October. Apparently after this all happened, I'm guessing they came back to Florida, and he took her to Tampa. And I'm looking in my head like, Tampa? What's Tampa? Like, you know, Florida for the most part. Tampa's basically a college town and ain't really shit to do in there. So, like, girl, Tampa. But I guess, you know, wherever they were staying, it was a calm environment. You know, she's not being around all that craziness. And, you know, he said they went back fishing and things like that. So, you know, trying to keep her at ease. And, you know, while the recovery's happening. And then they get into, you know, Milagro accusing her of being an alcoholic. And so in a audio they played, she basically said, well, you know, you are a family of alcoholics and pill poppers, and, you know, your mom was a thief, and I mean, again, if you ever heard MilagrozGramz content, you know, she just say what the fuck ever, and then put, you know, what's the term she uses? Lord jeez, you think by now, how much I watch her, y'all would know this shit. A rumor with no regard. There we go. A rumor with no regard. So, they also brought up the fact that JT, City Girl JT, made a tweet and said that, you know, because yesterday they put up a tweet, you know, that Milagro said, and I'm gonna paraphrase it, saying that, you know, your dad, your son, your brother, your uncle can be accused of something with no proof in X, Y, and Z. Because as you know, the main purpose of this trial is the fact that MilagrozGramz has been slandering Megan and saying she's a liar, that she didn't get shot by Tory, X, Y, and Z. So apparently part of the accusations of the pill popping and all that stuff was towards Carl Crawford. And I forgot that actually was towards him, but I digress. And Megan was aware of this situation. So again, as I'm gonna keep reiterating, every time they asked T. Farris how Megan was feeling, the answer normally was she's sad, upset, depressed. Okay, so, and this is how they're gonna push the emotional stress against Milagro. So they showed text messages from T. Farris and Megan. Megan was basically saying, I don't understand. I'm the one that got shot. I'm the one that's going through stuff, but I'm not getting no sympathy, and people are attacking me, and I don't understand why it's happening when I'm the victim. And, T. Farris tried to comfort her, telling her, like, listen, haters gonna hate, and all I can do is push forward. And he sent her a Bible verse, Psalms 69, verse 4, which is basically feed my people that hate you for no reason. So, trying to give him encouragement, because he said that his advice he felt like wasn't enough, so it's better to, give it to God and give her some advice from the Bible, as you should. Because he didn't know what to damn do. Because, like I said, that was very traumatic for her. I don't give a damn how you look at it. If you gonna say that Megan ain't the one that was really the victim, and that Kelsey the one that really put her hands on her over them sleeping over Tory, allegedly, what the case may be, again, a Blickiana went off, and the girl was scared for her life. So you can't say nothing about that. Which was crazy now we're bringing that up, because as I mentioned, that T. Farris has been, showing her, things people have said on the internet, whatever it may be, but primarily at MilagrozGramz. There was a couple times where, she's doing shows or she's going to things, X, Y, and Z, and he's showing her stuff that Milagro said, because apparently, they were on a tour bus for one of these situations, and I guess Billy was doing a show, or a fan showed him something, sent T. Farris something, and he showed Megan, and Megan did do the show. She was still sad because she was seeing things that this girl's been saying. He was listening to Milagro's on her shows, talking about a Tory trial, and I was thinking in my head, like, okay, I get it, you're trying to protect her, but like, if the girl is very emotional while she's going through these things, especially with the Tory case, and now we got the Milagro case, or the case may be, that's a different time frame, but we'll get into that as well. It's like, why you keep making the girl depressed? Like, I don't think in my head too, like, eventually I'm not going to keep seeing this bitch who keep talking about me, talk about me all the time. Like, it's fucking my mental. And Milagro's team gets into that, but we'll get there a little bit later. They brought up the fact that they said Milagro was gathering people, basically her fans, to come against Megan. They brought up on now this is gonna be a front and back, as in we're going like a timeline shift a little bit. So we're going to jump to March 27, 2025, where Tory put out that album, and he talking about some Mila Mama Mia. You really want the scoop, because Milagro is a blogger, and of course T. Farris shared this with Megan, and they made the assumption that that Milagro and Tory are working together, once again being the mouthpiece. And it was kind of like, girl, you shouting this girl out in your damn songs, why would I think you working with her? Makes sense. All right, we're going back in time, December 19th, 2022. Where you have absolutely ruined Tory's life. This is the tweets that was put out by Milagro, and of course Megan was not happy with that, obviously not. It said a lot of the time she would trap herself in her room. Now, isolation. The girl's depressed, obviously. And again, the JT tweet I came up again, because showed not once but twice they showed the tweet, and once again, you keep showing Megan the negativity, and is affecting her mental health, period. Calling her everything but a child of God, because you know Milagro's mouth. All right, let's fast forward. January 26, 2024. Bringing up the tweet of Chelsea, you know, the whole, oh, let me go ask Megan's best friend if Megan was sleeping with T. Farris because, you know, that's a guardian, that's weird. Ooh, you should have saw me and Armand face when we walked into the damn courtroom yesterday and they had that tweet sitting on the damn screen. I was like, bitch, hello. Because, what? Okay. Again, emphasizing, I see this girl like my little sister, not a guardian. I'm not her father figure. I'm her brother. They keep emphasizing that, right? Okay. And called Megan, Lenora called Megan, you know, the R word, because I don't know if that's getting banned off of YouTube because somebody reported it. But all right, cool, whatever. And once again, she was very much upset because, again, mental health. Hello. It's repetitive. I'm not gonna read that part. It's repetitive. Like I'm telling y'all, it's the same thing. Like Megan saw this, got sad, isolated herself. Megan saw that, isolated herself. Very much all that shit. All right, because I'm gonna like repeat myself over again because a lot of stuff was again repetitive questions. This was still reading from Megan's team's questions to T. Farris. Again, and it is sad. Like again, like and I'm not gonna bring up things that Megan said over the internet a couple of times. Like, you know, we can bring up the fact that she said that she's the Black Regina George, and the whole thing. She said I got shot 2 times, that ate that shit. But you know that's not important right now because we talking about her being a victim. So they make it seem like, you know, she was consistently being badgered by Milagros content. Like, on some, like, this happens all the time. Because every damn day, you know, somebody showing something Megan. And see, Farris emphasized the fact that it wasn't just him getting sent stuff. It was stuff being sent by, not being sent by, but stuff being sent to people in her team as well. Outside of Megan possibly seeing things. Girl, they played the corn tape again, the deep fake AI corn tape, and I was like, oh my god, again, mind you, they only played for like 3 seconds, but I was literally like, can y'all stop showing the damn the video? Like, the old folks don't want to see that mess. Old folks being the jury, because most of them over the age of 30. No, all of them over the age of 30. Like, girl, please stop showing that shit. Okay, T. Farris tried to get it taken down. And it did while get taken down, but like it's just, and he mentioned that he apologized to Megan because, you know, it was like, and Megan told him like, why are you apologizing for? You didn't put out, you could nothing about it. But you know, when you try to comfort your friend and you're just like, you know, bitch, I'm sorry it happened to you, because you know that would suck. Like you being put out here having sex with somebody you never had sex with, and now everybody looks at you like you a hoe, and that's not cool either. They said, again, for the emphasis of emotional distress, that, you know, this made Megan more cold. Like, Megan was more of an outgoing person where, you know, she wants to meet people and she wants to, you know, be, let's say, you see Megan outside, girl, you know, Megan you finna twerk, you know, Megan you finna get the shots, you know, Megan you want to dance, you know, Megan outside of the crap she be going through, the shit she be doing on the internet, like, she cool girl, I can tell. But when you consistently getting badgered by one person that's basically being the mouthpiece, I'm even saying what they said in the trial, for a man that hurts you, you know, you ain't gonna want to be friends with people because you feel like they might get you, you know? So, what I found crazy was T. Farris said that he paid, well, not he, but they paid $240,000 a month for Megan's therapy. And mind you, if I heard that right, she only went for a month. Who pays that much money for therapy? For a month? I don't know. Maybe she went every day, but a month for $240K sounds crazy. But anyways, all right. So Megan's lawyers get down. Now we have cross-examination from Milagro's lawyers. So T. Farris calls Milagro a hater off rip because they, you know, Milagro to be getting down too when they start, because they don't give a damn. They asked him, like, so you keep bombarding Megan with this negative post. Like, what is you doing? Like, do you not care that you're showing her the negativity before she has stuff to do to make money? Like, are y'all crazy? And I mean, when they brought up the text messages between T. Farris and Megan, you don't see her saying, oh, Milagro is why I'm feeling this way. Even Megan makes reference to the fact that she said people in her real life are not giving her grace. So who are these people in real life? And T. Farris said he didn't know. That was a red flag. If you're living with her and you're with a majority all the time, how you don't know other people who that she knows personally that's hurting her feelings, not giving her grace? What kind of brother are you? Okay, I already said that. So they asked him, because you say you're not her guardian, but you being able to authorize her paying, not her, obviously, probably Rock Nation, but paying $240,000 for therapy, why are they making you be able to authorize that? And one thing he mentioned, and one thing he mentioned was, I got water here. He mentioned was that people would text him and he couldn't get a hold of Megan. But again, therapy, you don't just authorize therapy. Like, obviously, you know, you're a manager, like, you have to have the ability to do so. So I kept that in mind. They also asked T. Farris, because they, you know, because he made reference that him and Megan live together. They asked him, whose name is on the house that y'all living in? And he act like he didn't know. He's like, oh, this has been a while ago, so I don't remember who's on the name of the house. It's like, so y'all stay in this crib, y'all know what the name of the house is. He said it was his and Megan, but he sounded very unsure. That was also a red flag. How you don't know who name of the crib, child? That's what I wrote down. They asked him, did you not tell Megan to stay on social media? And Megan at one point did say she's taking a break from music and stuff like that, but obviously did not last that long, because again, even with her being off of social media, y'all still showing her negative stuff about her from Milagro and others. They asked him, because we talking about T. Farris. They asked T. Farris, so you act like only Milagro was the only one talking bad about Megan. She said, what about academics? What about Aiden Ross? What about Joe Budden? I'm like, what Joe Budden doing? I mean, we know Joe Budden talks shit about her, but like, Joe Budden. And they were like, well, he was like, yes, they were talking smack about her too, but it was not consistently over 5 years. Yes, they said some of this one day or whatever, and they went by their business. But again, Milagro had been consistently talking about that girl for 5 years. We not letting that go, because she made herself a target talking about that girl. They said this. Everybody has their own entitlement to their, opinion. I mean, yes, this is the internet, you know. Everybody gonna say something. You don't have to like it. But again, once again, we're talking about somebody who's doing it for 5 years consistently. And, I know Milagro team gonna make that a reference to use that, but that would make a team that's based it off of. So let's keep thinking that in mind. Okay. T. Farris so damn funny. He said that Milagro is in the Guinness Book of World Records of being a hater, and I cackled. I was gagging. I was like, girl, I clock it. You ate that, okay? They asked him, was you only showing content from Milagro, or were you showing other content, people who were talking bad about her? He did admit it was more just Milagro, but again, back to the whole consistently doing it for 5 years. Charlie brought Parson Fontaine ass. They're like, oh, so how long did Partisan was with Megan? He was like, well, I don't know how long they were together. Aren't you supposed to be like her brother, like with her all the time? How do you know who she's dating? He said, listen, I know when they first kind of started dating, I know when they ended, but that's not my problem. She's grown, she do what she want to do. Okay, girl. They also brought up Nicki Minaj, which we'll get to that. So they bring up Nicki Minaj because, like, okay, well, I mean, you remember Nicki Minaj made Bigfoot, you know, lying on your dead mama, and you know, they asked her, like, did you show Megan the diss track? Yes. Y'all watched together? Yes. How was Megan? Upset. Duh. Like, come on, girl. So, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to keep saying it again. Reference that what? Milagro has been doing it consistently for 5 years. He said, I was trying to protect her from being sad, but I kind of don't see how you doing that when you keep showing her negative commentary. All right. They got into the whole alcoholism thing. So she was like, well, she's always in the room, right? Because she's sad that people are talking about her and she's going through stuff. So the lawyer asked him, sorry, I almost said her, like it's not him, asked him, so you ever see Megan like down in 5 cups of Hennessy or whatever? I'm like, oh, Hennessy, hello? So T. Farris like, no, if we ever drank together, it was for celebrations, it wasn't for anything else. So, excuse me, if, you know, Megan was ever drinking on her own accord, that got nothing to do with me, you know, but every time I was there, we'd have a toast, cheers, and not go about my business. So they asked him as well, did you ever see alcohol bottles in the recycling bin or the garbage can? He said, no, I don't believe that, but okay. Because then they asked him, like, okay, so have you ever seen Megan very intoxicated? He said no. But again, you're supposed to be there with her all the time for the most part. You never see this girl drunk? I just don't believe that. Not even her being alcoholic, because, bitch, I could drink too, and I did a lot of dumb stuff being drunk, okay? Period. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not always around friends drunk. I could be drunk at the crib chilling. Somebody would damn know, maybe not. But if you're consistently being there with her on a basis like this, especially the past 6 years, you should know when a girl get drunk. Or you should know if she's drinking when she's sad. Even like in the room, like, I'm sure you guys see something, which is what they were trying to reference to. And not, oh, you don't see nothing? Girl, okay. Again, I always said that, and I'm gonna keep saying it again, $240K for therapy is crazy, but I digress. Okay. So now T. Farris gets down from the stand. Now enter Daniel Ryan Kinney. Now, Mr. Kinney is from Rock Nation. This is Megan's, I want to say social media manager, but it's not that. Let's say that this man basically is the man that gets her brand deals, right? So, marketing specialist, right? So, he works with more than Megan, obviously. He said Alicia Keys, he said J Balvin, he said somebody else, I don't remember the name at this point. He been doing this, at least representing her for 6 years. So since she's been in the industry for 6 years, he's been doing this. No, not with her. He's been 6 years in Rock Nation doing this, but Megan's one of his main clients, is what he said. He said that he gets deals for her like Nike, Revlon, Airbnb, and more. He said that Megan, who has a very great work ethic, I believe it, and that she's a very hard worker. 100% believe that. They said she's so good at what she does that she literally works with the brands when it comes to creativity, outfits, things like that, which we can tell because Megan be eating up the endorsements. I ain't gonna lie to you, she do. But he did say that around 2022, 2023, her marketing efforts declined and she was getting less deals. And he says due to the bullying harassment. Now, as I get down these notes, remember, this is about Milagro bullying her, right? Please keep in mind, as I'm going through these notes, that this is about Milagro bullying her. And he slips up a couple times. And you'll see why I'm saying like that. Because, again, one thing they also started beginning in the trial was that Milagro is not a journalist. Now, keep that in mind as I read this stuff, right? Okay, so She made a couple references to the fact she needed mental health and time off because she wasn't doing good based off of what between her and Tori, as well as the Milagro harassment. But mind you, he does not mention that. He does not mention about the Milagro stuff till later. And then he still kind of bypasses it because he doesn't make it a big deal because he did not even know who Milagro was until 2024. Keep that in mind as well. So she was losing money for Roc Nation. And they asked him, what deals during this time did she lose because of what she was going through? There was 4 they mentioned. Activision, which is in charge of video games. Google Pixel, which is for a cell phone, Google or whatever. A brand called Just Eats, which is the sister program to Grubhub. Is it Grubhub? Grubhub, and the women's soccer team. Okay, so keep these in mind now. So I want to read off the standard information first for all 4, and then we get into the tea they asked him when Milagro's team comes in later on. Okay, so Activision, she got the starting of these. So all these deals were in writing, about to be going to happen, and did not happen due to Megan. So Activision, 2021 to 2020, early 2022. This was 4 months they went through this deal. She was going to get 1.1 million off of this. But the main target for Activision was for more marketing. Now, she was supposed to do the Call of Duty game for Activision. And this is where Nicki Minaj is brought in again, because they said that the reason why Megan did not take this deal was because, as y'all know, Nicki Minaj took the deal and they used her skin as playable in the game. So they were going to do the same thing with Megan. Megan only did not take the deal because she felt like, since that's happened, after the toy situation happened, right? She said that she did not like the idea of her likeness being used and people shooting at her because of the fact that it happened with Tori. And it seems like, it was triggering. She did not take that deal. That's the first one. Google Pixel. This is from November 2022 to December 2022 and January 2023. So they were going to use Megan as the marketing for a new phone. They were going to send the phones over. They're going to get a private jet for her. They're going to go do the full shebang for this damn phone promo. She's going to get $1.4 million with more perks behind it. And the reason why they did not do it is because they wanted her to set a date to film what they needed to film for her. And she couldn't meet the dates due to mental health. All right. Let's go into Just Eats. So Just Eats is a brand over in Europe, but is a sister to Grubhub, and eventually want to bring that over to America. So she was supposed to make $2.6 million from this deal. It was going to be in Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. But she did not take this deal because she needed personal time. I don't know if that was per vacation or just needed time to herself. But it said that she wanted time to heal, and that they were trying to make a deal up until later in the year, in the summer, but she didn't take it because it was a time crunch and she did not do what she was supposed to do. And she also put make a song for this, and she didn't make it in time. Again, mental health. My phone died. All right, let's get back to it. So, women's soccer team, 2023 spring. She was supposed to create the anthem for the women's soccer team, and that was going to be exposure. She was only making $60K from this deal, but because it was going to be international, she was supposed to make a lot of money off of this in the long run. But guess what? She didn't do it because mental health, child. Everything's mental health. She's going through it. She's depressed. Yada, 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 yada. Which, again, I'm not throwing no shade at that. But, I mean, damn, girl. you missing money over, you know, stuff. But don't get it wrong, I get it. All right. That was Megan's team asking questions. Now we're going to Milagro's team, and this is where I said he messed up a little bit. So, all right. They asked him, because it's a team, who are you reporting to? Desiree Perez. Yeah. Okay. He said that he has closed 36 deals for Megan. And what he called long form contracts, which is one of the 4 deals that Megan did not get. Because they got to the point where it's supposed to happen, and then he said it's very rare this happens. She basically in 2023 and 2022, so reversed it, 2022, 2023, stopped taking deals because, you know, mental health, which I understand obviously because she's going through a lot. But he said that she closed at least 10 to 12 deals in 2021, which I remember that because I got a $5 cash out from her during the Cash App Fridays or whatever. He said that, you know, Megan didn't feel any burnout because she likes to work. So I kind of side-eyed that because, like, okay, I get it. You know, she's already supposed to make her money. But, like, when you consistently doing deals like that, wouldn't you not get burnout? But, okay, whatever. And Milagro's lawyers asked him, like, do you feel like you're at fault for a decline? And he said no. I'm like, bitch, okay, girl, I guess not. They asked him how you get paid. Well, he said he's on salary. And, you know, he does get incentive and commission when the deals go through or whatever. But for the most part, he gets paid on his own already as it is. He gets extra money when the artist does well. He claimed he ain't the best at doing deals, but I don't know how you can be somebody's marketing manager, basically, and you're not good at closing deals. That didn't sound right to me either. And when they asked him, so when Megan declined or was going to decline the Call of Duty deal, and, you know, she just went through the shooting stuff, like, why did you not think about her mental health before you try to get her to sign this deal? And he said no. The purpose of the Call of Duty was more on the gameplay aspects and not, I'm sorry. Just see how I'm about to fuck up? He said it was not about the gameplay aspect. It was just for a likeness to be shown in the game so he can get more traction for her. Basically, he said no, bitch. LOL. So they asked him, so how'd you know about Milagro? He goes, oh, you know, I knew about her in January 2024, 9 months before they served her to go to court. He said he was not involved in anything regarding to Milagro due to, like, the lawsuit, things like that. He was a side character. He knew nothing about the shit going on, right? Okay. Threw Nicki under the bus because then they asked him, oh, do you consider Nicki Minaj an A-list celebrity? And he said, you know, in the hip-hop community. And then he said, and what about Megan Thee Stallion? He said, yeah, absolute entertainment. And I'm like, I know you're not trying to say Nicki Minaj. Hello? Oh, okay. He did it, but yeah, we weren't playing that with him on the internet. Anyway, so I'm actually mad about that because, like, why you try my dog like that? And then, you know, so they asked him, do you think that she was messing at these deals due to Milagro? Because, you know, you make it seem like it's Milagro's fault she didn't take these deals. He said, I don't think so. Girl, hello? So they didn't keep you up to date with what's going on? I thought that was a side eye. And let's get to the last part because this is why I said he messed up. So, they asked him, like, so how was Megan during this time doing this stuff or whatever? And he was like, yeah, the sentencing was messing with her mental, which we do know that. And the negative press was affecting Megan, which I agree with, obviously. And then they're like, so you're not tracking what she's going through as you're doing these deals for her? And he made it sound like he did not care, in a sense. Sorry, I was burping and stuff. And then it gets to the part where I say he messed up. So, like I said in the beginning, Y'all are saying that Milagro is not media. She's not a journalist, nothing like that or whatever. So he goes, oh, yeah, Milagro's a journalist. And me and Armand, we look at each other like, huh? Yeah, we read online articles from Milagro. She ain't a journalist, right? So what article did you read? I'm like, see, now you giving that girl, if you want that girl to lose, you're giving her an edge, sir. Because what the hell are you talking about? Okay? Megan Lawyer looked mad when he said that. Like, it was like, Nick, what the fuck are you doing? And then Milagro's lawyer brought up Meek Mill and Drake. Like, so you never seen a situation like this where you have rappers going at each other and things like that. And you know, yeah, I've seen like articles and a couple social media posts when that was going down. But like, he don't be to invest because obviously that's not his job to be invested in stuff like that. But you said you saw articles of Milagro and she had articles written by her on the internet. So that was kind of crazy. He did say that the Megan versus Tory situation was affecting her brand deals. But you wasn't really caring as somebody trying to negotiate deals for her. So it's like, as long if it's about work and you fucking up our money, I don't care. Like, girl, okay. He said that I don't stop Megan from doing anything. If Megan don't want to do it, she don't want to do it. It's her work. So I don't make her do anything. She chooses herself. And then they asked him, like, so is it more about the money or the exposure? He said the exposure is more important than the money, but you know, white people don't really believe that shit. So, okay. And then the last question was, did Milagro have anything to do with her stopping these deals? And he said, no. So which one is it? Damn it. Which one is it? You can't say the bitch is doing all this shit and then say, oh no. But when it comes to making her money, that was Milagro's fault. Okay, now I closed my book because the last part of this, I was reading from Miss Diva Docket because she was in the building. So I'm going to memorize what I read from her because I was not here the last part of that. Because for the most part, I come in the morning, I leave in the afternoon because I got 9 to 5, I got to go to work for. So, Lenora Walker walks in. This is a little old lady. She all cute, whatever. She, you know, was diagnosing Megan on what she was going through. And I'm a long story short because it's not that important for real. But obviously, what she's saying was, and I'm not a medical professional, so I'm not going to say this without putting like a allegedly behind it, but that Megan got PTSD. And you can obviously understand why she has that. You know, she was getting attacked from all flanks. You got Tory Lanez subliminal in music. You got Tory Lanez, you know, making comments, things like that. You got Milagro for 5 years torturing her. You got people who don't like her torturing her. You got fans torturing her that are not, you know, her fans obviously, but like Milagro, mob members, and other people who do not like her. So it was just like, you know, like they said earlier, yes, other people was coming for her. But when you're consistently being attacked by one person for 5 years, it's no longer, you don't like her. You are consistently targeting her. You're making jokes. You're making the derogatory statements. You're basically lying on her because, as they said, per a jury of our peers, they found Tory Lanez guilty, and you're consistently attacking her. And then you wonder why Rock Nation made it an emphasis to come at you, girl, because you really were fucking with that girl. Sorry to say it. The only reason this is more prevalent than Tasha K versus Cardi B, because Tasha K lied on Cardi B about her having herpes. Called her cold sore B, and she came out with results, said she had no herpes, but you kept pushing it, and you wanted Cardi to reach out to you. And why you think the bitch reached out to you knowing that you've been picking on her for 2 years for Tasha situation, and you thought Megan would come at you and try like, hey girl, can you stop leaving me the fuck alone? Because there was one point where JT came into Milagro's DMs, it was like, hey, take that down. And she said, okay, I'll do that because you asked me to. But Megan didn't do that, and that was her excuse for not stop coming at her. So, yeah, that's how today ended. If you're asking me how it looks right now, it looks like Milagro's doing better, but there's somebody coming either today or tomorrow that might change that up. I ain't gonna say no names right now because I know who it is, but if what I think is gonna come out this man's mouth tomorrow, if not Friday, yeah, Milagro would be careful. Cause that's somebody that was close to you real bad and they know you. Okay? But with that being said, thank you for tuning in to TV. This is day 3 of the trial, and I will see you next time. Peace.
Someone once told me the grass is much greener